Hello and welcome to an India Today special broadcast on a day when Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan was arrested rather unceremoniously by Pakistan Rangers from inside the record room of the Islamabad High Court. Arson, violence and chaos rule supreme on the streets across Pakistan, across multiple cities from Lahore to Multan, and these are images that we are showing you of the house of the 4 Corps commander. The Lahore Corps commander's house has been set on fire. The Multan Corps headquarters and cantonment has also been targeted. But protesters, in their excitement, and we will show you those images as you look at this image, this is the Lahore Corps commander's house. These are protests of Azadi. Azadi protests on the streets of Lahore and Multan and other parts of Pakistan. But I'll just show you an image. You will hear the firing in the background. This is the ISI headquarters. When in their excitement, Imran Khan supporters targeted the ISI headquarters, that is where reports from Pakistan indicate that Pakistan Army opened fire. And you will hear that. In fact, Pakistan Army has opened fire at protesters. Lahore Corps commander's house has been targeted. We'll also show you images, and I want our producers to show you the image of Radio Pakistan headquarters also being set on fire. Anti-Pakistan Army slogans have been heard. Protesters tried to target the ISI headquarters. They were pushed back. Protesters are demanding the immediate release of Imran Khan. Imran Khan arrested by Pakistani Rangers. In fact, you'll also hear Imran Khan in a moment from now. Before he was arrested, his party released a video, and in that video, he sought jihad. He said, Azadi, आपको प्लेट पे रख के कोई नहीं देगा. Jihad करना पड़ेगा आज़ादी के लिए. Jihad for Azadi. Now, hear the religious connotation in what Imran Khan is saying, and reports just coming in. That's the Radio Pakistan headquarters that has been set on fire. Now there is an internet slowdown across Pakistan. So whether it's social media platforms like Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, very difficult. Reports that we are getting from Pakistan, very difficult for people to upload images. Is this an indication that the Pakistan Army may begin its crackdown? A lot of reactions coming in. Imran Khan party supporters are saying, come out on the streets. It's now or never in Pakistan. Now that's the image that you see of Imran Khan being arrested. But just in a moment from now, you will hear there's a man outside ISI headquarters, and he's saying the police, the army has opened fire when protesters tried to target the ISI headquarters.
यहाँ इमरान खान साहब पेश हुए, थोड़ी देर पहले यहाँ से गिरफ्तार किया गया. मैं एग्जैक्टली बता दूँ, ये आप देख रहे हैं, ये बायोमेट्रिक है, ये बायोमेट्रिक मशीन है. यहाँ बायोमेट्रिक करते हैं, यहाँ खड़े होते हैं. खान साहब वहाँ खड़े थे, पहले बाहर से धक्का दे के बाद यहाँ से खड़ा था वो सामने, वहाँ से आके उन्होंने शीशा तोड़ा है. और वो ये आप नीचे देख लीजिए क्या सूरत हाल है. ये दरवाज़ा है और मेरी आंखों में मारा आँख, इतना ज़ोर का स्प्रे, हम 3 वकला के, और इतना शदीद किस्म का हमला था.
आलम इस्लाम के लीडर को गिरफ्तार किया गया और उन पर तशद्दुद करने की इतलात आ रही है दौरान गिरफ्तारी. ये किसी सूरत काबिल कबूल नहीं है. इमरान खान हमारी रेड लाइन है. इमरान खान इस मुल्क का, पूरे आलम इस्लाम का निडर वाहिद ईमानदार लीडर है और उसने कोई गुनाह नहीं किया. उसने कोई लाखों करोड़ों अरबों रुपए लोगों के नहीं लूटे. वो कोई दौड़ के नहीं गया किसी दूसरे मुल्क में जाके बैठ गया. मैं पूरी कौम से, सब कारकुनों से और सब अवाम से, सिर्फ कारकुन नहीं अवाम से ये डिमांड करता हूँ कि आज बाहर निकलें. अगर आज हम बाहर ना निकले, ये मुल्क हमेशा के लिए इन चोरों डाकुओं के हवाले कर दिया जाएगा.
अभी आप लोगों का वक्त है कि आप लोग बाहर निकले. मैं इस वक्त अकेली निहत्ते होके मैं गाजी घाट पुल जा रही हूँ. मैं आवाम का मुकदमा लड़ने जा रही हूँ, मैं इमरान खान का मुकदमा लड़ने जा रही हूँ, मैं पाकिस्तान का मुकदमा लड़ने जा रही हूँ. ये बात याद रखिएगा, ये अकेले इमरान खान की जंग नहीं है. आज इमरान खान आपकी जंग लड़ते लड़ते उसके ऊपर कोई चोरी का मुकदमा नहीं है, उसने कोई जुर्म नहीं किया. मार देंगे उसको, मैं आपको बता रही हूँ कि अंदर वो मार देंगे अगर आप लोग अभी अपने लिए खड़े न हुए, आप पाकिस्तान के लिए खड़े न हुए.
का घटियापन देखें आप, और इस आदमी की मुनाफिकत देखें आप, इस आदमी की मक्कारी देखें कि एक बंदा जो है वो जिस वक्त वो लोगों को चोर और डाकू के जो है वो नारे लगा रहा है, लोगों के खिलाफ करप्शन के जो है वो झूठे मुकदमे बना रहा है, खुद उसी वक्त जो है इस किस्म की घटिया करप्शन में कि कौमी ख़जाने को 60 अरब रुपए का जो है वो टीका लगा के खुद 6 अरब रुपए की प्रॉपर्टी जो है वो इसी मुल्क में अपने जो है वो नाम लगवा रहा है। तो ये इसका जो है वो घटिया और गंदा किरदार है।
अगवा हुआ है, कोई वारंट नहीं था।
यानी खान साहब को अगवा किया गया, आप कहते हैं?
खान साहब ने एक बयान दिया, खान साहब के मेंटली प्रिपेयर थे। आज
खान साहब सुबह जाते अपना वीडियो पैगाम भी दे के गए, आपने सुना ही होगा।
ये मेंटली प्रिपेयर थे। अब देखते हैं, लेकिन कसूर तो खान साहब तो पाकिस्तान के लिए खड़े हैं। अब पाकिस्तानी निकले तब तक खान साहब अकेले उनके लिए करेंगे।
Two images that actually stand out. The house of the Corps Commander of Lahore being targeted. Imagine these are people who virtually rule Pakistan. How can the Corps Commander's house be targeted? Does this indicate that there are divisions in the Pakistan army? Some people support Imran Khan. The second image, and equally shocking, is Radio Pakistan office being set on fire by the protesters. And since these issues, and watch this, hear this man, I want you to hear him. This is ISI headquarters in Pakistan. Hear this man.
आम नौजवानों पे, यूथ पे स्ट्रेट फायरिंग शुरू कर दी है। हमारे 2 नौजवानों को इस टाइम गोलियां लगी हैं, जो फायरिंग की आवाज़ आ रही है, जहाँ पे हमें गोलियां मारी जा रही हैं। आपको फायरिंग वीडियो में आवाज़ आई है। स्ट्रेट फायरिंग ये कर रहे हैं और फायरिंग करके यहाँ पे 2 हमारे लड़के जख्मी हुए हैं। और हम फिर भी कहते हैं कि इंशाल्लाह जवानियाँ लुटाएंगे, खान को लाएंगे। इस टाइम हम खड़े हुए हैं ISI हेडक्वार्टर के बाहर, हमजा कैंप के बाहर, पिंडी मरी रोड पे। और यहाँ पे आर्मी ने जो है पुरअमन मुजाहिरीन पे, आम नौजवानों पे, यूथ पे स्ट्रेट फायरिंग शुरू कर दी है। हमारे 2 नौजवानों को इस टाइम गोलियाँ लगी हैं, जो फायरिंग की आवाज़ आ रही है।
So you heard that firing? That firing is taking place at ISI headquarters, and these are PTI supporters in their excitement. They went and targeted the ISI headquarters, little realizing Imran Khan made the mistake of attacking the Pakistan army. He landed in jail. Some of these people, God forbid, may end up dead or injured. I want to quickly bring in India Today's Shiv Arur. Shiv and our team, they're keeping a hawkeye on these developments. And Shiv, when you look at these images that are coming out of Pakistan, and multiple images, Radio Pakistan being set on fire, Corps Commander's house being set on fire, and F-6 aircraft being set on fire, Shiv, describe to us and to our viewers what's happening in Pakistan.
This is tantamount, Gaurav, to storming the King's Palace itself in Pakistan because, like you rightly said, it doesn't get higher than the Pakistan army. What the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf supporters of Imran Khan have basically done today is storm and destroy the house of the 4 Corps Commander, possibly the most important army formation, which is, very close to the India border in Lahore. They've completely destroyed his house. Nobody knows where the Corps Commander is. The Pakistani Prime Minister, the Pakistan Army Chief, the Chief of the National Accountability Bureau, strangely happened not to be in the country while the entire nation is burning. We saw protesters, entering the gates of General Headquarters in Rawalpindi. It has never happened before. There have been attempts before, but this is for the first time that they've actually gotten inside. They've stormed the ISI headquarters in Islamabad, or at least tried to. They were obviously pushed back with a great degree of force. The Pakistan army has been ordered to fire back at Imran Khan's supporters in some areas. We understand some casualties have also been inflicted in some areas. But in image after image, from Mianwali to Faisalabad, to Sindh, to Karachi, to Islamabad, Rawalpindi, Lahore, Quetta, no matter which major town or city in Pakistan you talk about, Peshawar as well, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, there is arson, there is damage. Corps commanders, army formations, establishment buildings are being attacked with a ferocity never seen before in Pakistan, Gaurav. Whether this was because of the war cry that Imran Khan had issued, or whether it has come organically from a country that's already been in free fall for the last couple of years, one cannot say. But what one can definitely say is the implosion of Pakistan is complete. One only needs to see how much worse it can actually get. What I can tell you is the rebuttal by the Pakistan army is going to be big. That's right, Gaurav. The pictures of that aircraft that we're showing to our viewers happens to be an F-6. It's a Shenyang F-6. How ironic, isn't it, Gaurav? A Chinese aircraft, a symbol of Pakistan-Chinese bonhomie and partnership, ablaze outside the Mianwali Air Base. One of the most viral pictures. China completely silent so far. So it's really, really amazing to see this total caving in of Pakistan.
Shiv, Many thanks for joining me. Keep tracking that story. I will come back to you for more. What's extremely critical at this point of time is the army permitting this. Are they letting people vent because let the steam off and then the army will crack down? Or are there major fissures in the Pakistan army? The next couple of days will be very, very interesting. And trust us, India Today will continue to get you the latest on this major development. Imran Khan's war cry that Shiv was just talking about when Imran Khan asked for jihad for Azadi. And now there are Azadi chants on the streets of Pakistan. We'll track that story. The other big story we're tracking here on India First. The makers of the Kerala story have now moved the Supreme Court seeking the vacation of a ban, removal of the ban on the film in West Bengal. The makers though are saying, and their plea is, they've also sought permission that the Tamil Nadu government should provide security to theatres for screening the movie across Tamil Nadu. And this after Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee ordered an immediate ban on the screening of the film produced by Vipul Shah, directed by Sudipto Sen. In fact, Vipul Shah, Sudipto Sen and actor Ada Sharma join me on this story to talk about the ban and their effort. And the makers of the film The Kerala Story have approached the Supreme Court against Mamata Banerjee government's decision to ban the film in Bengal. The filmmakers are protesting the ban even as Uttar Pradesh has decided to make the film tax-free for wider audiences after Madhya Pradesh. But Mamata Banerjee's allegations are serious. She's citing breach of peace. She's citing a law and order threat in the state to restrict the film in her state. She's also alleged distortion of facts. Joining me now for more on this big story, Vipul Amritlal Shah, the film producer. Ada Sharma is the star of the movie. Sudipto Sen is the director of the movie. I want to begin by asking you, Vipul Shah, we are told you've approached the Supreme Court. What's your prayer against the ban, sir?
It would be very difficult to discuss the technicalities of it, but I can tell you that we have approached the court, Honorable Supreme Court, under the provisions of the law, and we are hoping that we'll get a quick hearing and hopefully a judgment that would be historical in its nature, and it will create a complete free path for freedom of expression here on.
Okay, you're battling for freedom of expression in Bengal. I mean, in a state where one would expect there would be so much about freedom of expression, and there were several leaders, Sudipto Sen, who were talking about freedom of expression till very recently, suddenly the film has been banned. Are you surprised, or is this on expected lines, Sudipto Sen?
No, we are actually. This is I completely taken aback. I didn't realize that this is coming on in the way, because I am proud Bengali and I am a proud free thinker, and I recall when the debate about Padmavat came up and it was banned. The first political leader was Mamata Banerjee, who supported Padmavat, and eventually the ban was lifted. And then very recently, the debate about that BBC documentary, Mahua Maitraji was the forefront of this protest, and still she is protesting and asking for the right of watching those two episodes of BBC documentary. Suddenly, what wrong happened to them that they come forward and without any substantial proof, they went on and banned this film. First 4 days, almost 500 screens, 500 shows happened in Bengal without a single iota of doubt of any kind of unrest, any kind of law and order issue. But suddenly Didi could see that law and order issue come up. It is unreal,
You're saying it's surreal.
And Mamata Banerjee Didi.
Okay.
This is absolutely not. I can't fathom the fact that it is coming from West Bengal.
Okay. Ada Sharma respond to Mamata Banerjee saying that the film is a distortion of facts and she fears a breakdown of law and order in the state, and that is why, Ada, the film has been banned.
Right, I think like Victor sir said, there have been shows that have aired before, and there was no law and order problem, at least according to what I'm aware of. Uh, I don't know if she watched the film yet. If she hasn't, I'd really request her to watch it because I feel like our audience who supported us in the film has just grown day by day. It just shows that people watching it are really supportive towards the film. So many crores of people won't be just supportive for something that's not telling the truth. So I feel if she watches it, she might change her mind and she might actually endorse this movie and say, yeah, this is a movie against terrorism and we should all fight terrorism and we should definitely all watch this movie. Maybe she'd watch it and then have special screenings for just women. So I hope she watches it.
Okay, I mean, you sound very hopeful that you want her to watch the film. Not only will she change her view, you say, but she will organize special screening for young women. And why should she do that? I'll come to you to respond to that. But Vipul Shah, once again, coming back to you, sir, law and order breakdown is a very serious issue. Your film, sir, stands accused of inciting a section of the community, and some leaders say it targets only one community and falsely.
So there are lots of questions within this one question. So let me take them one by one. First thing is that this film is not against any community, any religion or the state of Kerala itself. This film is only and only against terrorism. And I think we've spoken about this many times, and it should settle this matter.
Sudip Hussain, considering you come from Bengal, you understand the mindset of the people. What is your appreciation? Why has the film been banned in Bengal, and why are restrictions on this film even in Tamil Nadu?
In Tamil Nadu, the film is not banned. There is only one gentleman has taken the state in ransom, and he personally has threatened the hall owners, the exhibitors, that against our film. We get to know that he is a history cheater, and he has created many similar trouble in past. But we are surprised that such a democratic leader like Mr. Stalin, who himself a film person, allowing a hooligan to take the state in ransom, which is quite unusual. We request Mr. Stalin to watch the film and allow us to screen it ASAP. And when it comes to Bengal, that it is absolutely ridiculous. It is not acceptable that after 5 days, with peaceful run, with a full house run, and people are from all walks of life, all the communities who watched the film for 5 days. It's almost 450 to 500 shows with full house. Is without any kind of disturbance, and coming out of the auditorium showering only good words, only blessings for us, suddenly gave a feeling of a threat on law and order issue situation in Bengal. I think there may be a political agenda which I am not aware of, because
so there is a political agenda.
But it is unusual, it is uncalled for. It is uncalled for, that much I can tell you.
Okay, so you say there's politics behind the banning of this film in Bengal. Ada Sharma, your critics or the critics of this movie say the trailer initially spoke of 32,000 girls. I know we've had a discussion on this a couple of days ago, but initially it spoke of 32,000 girls who were abducted, converted and sold off in Syria and Yemen. NCP MLA, and I want to come to that in greater detail even with Vipul Shah in just a moment, but NCP MLA Jitendra Awad says, you are now down to just 3 cases. He's accused the filmmakers of gross exaggeration, ma'am.
Sorry, can you repeat the last line? I didn't hear what you said.
From 32,000 down to 3, they think this is exaggeration. This is gross misrepresentation of facts is the allegation, ma'am.
I think we've made our thing on the 32,000 is what I even said when we went to channels in the beginning. I thought when we were making this film and putting it out, I thought people would be like, oh my God, this is happening to girls. And this is the pain that women are going through. And they're being drugged and raped and impregnated and sent off away from their homes. But what people stuck on to was one statistical number, because I'm guessing that number didn't contain one member of their family. I mean, if it was your mother or your sister, your girlfriend or your friend, I don't think people would be picking on that number, because then humanity comes into it and then it's your person. I stuck to the thing that if it's just even one girl, for me, it's a very big deal because I played this one girl. Of course, in a film, I can't play 32,000 characters. So I played the one girl and she went through so much. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy ever either. However, like Vipul sir said with the number thing now, since it's gone to the Supreme Court and since they've said don't talk about it right now till things are, so I don't know if we're even allowed to talk about it now. But if you go through older interviews of us, we've dissected everything and spoken about the number more than we have, even about the girls who been gone and their families who are miserable. We've spoken about the number like at length and depth. Sudipto sir has put out facts. He's put in website details. He's put in the exact calculation, number of years with proof. Also, if you come and watch our film, at the end of the film also, there's a lot of testimonials that you get to see, and I think the question will be answered.
Okay, but Vipul Shah, Jitendra Awad also said something which is very disturbing. The NCP MLA actually wants the filmmakers to be hanged publicly. Respond to his criticism. Also tell me, do you fear for your security, for your life, given this very high-octane criticism that's coming your way from very powerful quarters?
I find this comment actually funny. So every time I hear it, I kind of laugh. I'm sure Mr. Awad is aware of the law and he's made a comment for effect, as I put it. And I'm sure he doesn't mean any harm literally to any of us. I mean, we definitely believe that that's the reality. I don't think that we are scared. There are no such threats that we should be worried about. Precaution is always better. So yes, we are cautious, but there is no such threat on our lives or our safety at this point of time.
Sudipto Sen,
asked about that 3 and 30.
Vipul Shah, that's actually brave of you.
Sorry, I want to say something. I'm a girl and I live in India. I used to always think it's a democratic country and everyone can have their opinion. But people putting out threats like that, people who are at high posts, if they are allowed to do that, it really scares me. If they are giving threats to my producer and director, maker, whoever, I don't know. I think it's a very scary thing. As a girl in the country, people are allowed to just give threats and say hang them in public and all. I find it very scary.
It indeed is. But Sudipto Sen, is there requirement for security? You as the director, Vipul Shah as the producer, Ada as the lead in this film. Should security be provided? Do you need security given the threats that may come your way?
I don't think that we need any security. Yes, to precaution, yes. But as far as security is concerned, already the verdict has been given, Gaurav. That there are 3 testimonials has come to us. If you want, I can share those testimonials where one 21-year-old girl, she was constantly abusing me since our trailer was out, last 10 to 12 days. She was telling me, calling names and what not. Yesterday night she posted that I want to publicly apologize, that I have seen your film and such a wonderful film. I think every girl, every parent should watch the film. Now, I think the verdict is out. So my security will not make much difference. People have decided to watch the film and people will watch the film. Nobody can stop that. No political fight can stop that.
Okay, but Ada, how would you respond to the criticism that's coming your way as the lead in the Kerala story or films like the Kashmir File, that this is targeting of a single community, whether it's Kashmir Files or the Kerala story?
I think like Vipul sir was also saying, for me, criticism, of course, I take criticism and praise both. But when people are coming out of the film, like people who've seen the film and actually seen it from start to finish and not basing it on a trailer that they saw and judging it, I don't think any person has come out saying, after watching the film, saying that it's demonizing any community, or they come out with what we wanted to always say from the start: look at the pain of the girls and let's spread awareness so that other girls don't fall into this trap and get into terror organizations. So I think everyone's getting that exact message. It's going exactly. So that I'm really happy we are able to do that. It gives me great fulfillment.
Vipul Shah, Sudipto Sen and Ada Sharma, as always, many thanks for joining me here on India Today, and wish you all the best for a super success for the Kerala story. Vipul Shah says, and very clearly, this is not Islamophobia. What they're trying to do is create awareness about terrorism. Terrorphobia is what their aim remains. For joining me here on India Today, many thanks. A quick break. News and updates continue on India Today. Stay with us.
Namaskara, voters of Karnataka.
BJP this time is looking at new faces.
What development will happen? Tell me.
What would be your wish list?
Lingayats were earlier known as the Veera Shaivas. How do you see Karnataka's politics?
Absolutely great, fantastic.
It's Karnataka's big decision day. After state of war, voters decide the next Sarkara to be voted today. 10th May, 7 a.m. onwards. Only on India Today TV.
Good set of fourth quarter earnings. Can you take us through some of the key numbers, including net profit, which is about 1350 crore versus 606 crore on a year-on-year basis?
Yeah. So bank has shown a very good performance in this financial year, March 23, both on Q-on-Q basis and also on the year-on-year basis. As you are aware that our net profit has gone up by 18% and we have touched 4,000 crore of net profit during the year. As far as the operating profit is concerned, we have touched 13,000 crore. We have crossed 13,000 crore of operating profit also with a growth of 33%. As far as the NIM is concerned, we have closed the NIM at 3.01%. And it was based on a healthy net interest margin, interest income, which grew by around 25%. Our interest expenses, even though there has been increase in the cost of resources, our interest expenses have grown by only 13%. What it has done is that our NIM, net interest margin, has grown by 44%. So which has helped for improvement in the overall NIM for the bank, both on the quarter-on-quarter basis and also on the year-on-year basis.
Mr. Karnataka, I want to talk about the NPA position. What is the picture as far as NPAs are concerned, and what are your plans and strategies in this regard to further see improvement in this regard?
Yeah, so as far as the NPA position of the bank is concerned, we have closed the gross NPA amount at around 37,000 crore with a percentage of 7.3. As far as the net NPA is concerned, we have closed the amount at around 8,000 crores with a net NPA of 1.7. So that is a good number, and both the percentage terms, gross and net PA, amount wise and percentage wise, it has come down. So far as the guidance is concerned, for gross NPA, we are giving a guidance of 6.5%, and for net NPA, we are giving a guidance of 1.3%. So as far as the strategy is concerned, we have a very strong strategy of recoveries, wherein OTS would be there, other kinds of recoveries would also be there. Another thing is that lot of stress will be given on the upgradation of accounts which have fallen to NPA during this financial year and during the current quarter. So upgradation will be another strong strategy which is there. Apart from that, we are monitoring our portfolio, SMA portfolio, very closely. So we also feel that the slippage ratio will also improve and there will be less slippage during this financial year, leading to lower accretion of the gross NPA numbers. Apart from that, as a part of strategy, we will be doing some write-off also. Overall, with this, the gross and net NPA is expected to come down in this financial year.
Rule the Vidhana Saudha.
We want a good governor.
The only exit poll India trusts.
If you are seeing India Today, then very often before counting day, you do get to see the exact poll.
Sharp rise of the BJP.
All three trends spot on this time.
Channel with #1 exit poll strike rate. India Today's double engine. Live. State of war. Exact poll. 10th May, 6 p.m. onwards. Only on India Today TV.
Co-presented by Star Health Insurance, the health insurance specialist. Powered by Jaguar, discover the magic of smart lights. Co-powered by Tech Pro by Blackberries. Show the way.
Hello and welcome. You're with us here on Business Today. I'm Abha Pakaya. Here are the day's top stories. Adani Group stocks shave off more than 40,000 crore rupees of LIC's portfolio in the Jan to March quarter. Portfolio value down around 8% on quarter. Big gains from the surge in the ITC stock. Markets end flat near the day's lows after a tough tug-of-war between bulls and bears. 8 of the 13 sectoral indices end in the red. Investors look to consolidate after Monday's 700-point rally. Mankind Pharma makes a rollicking debut on D Street. Investors earn up to 32% returns on their IPO bets. Stock closes at 1,422 rupees versus issue price of 1,080 rupees. The Indian economy can soon achieve 9% GDP growth rate. Watch noted economist and veteran policymaker Dr. Arvind Panagraya in an exclusive conversation later in the show. Government rules out bailout of Go First, says not possible till the issue of supply of engines is sorted out with Pratt & Whitney. Even as the Sensex gained 706 points this week, it's the portfolio of Life Insurance Corporation of India which is under close watch. The kingmaker of D Street has in its kitty at least 10 stocks which have shot up by more than 20% since January. Another report shows the crucial rejig in the financial giant's portfolio in the first 3 months of this calendar year.
Is the largest domestic stock market player, reportedly with enough clout to set the direction on Dalal Street. And also a white knight to several listed companies in trouble. Life Insurance Corporation of India, or LIC as it is better known as, holds shares of more than 10 lakh crore rupees, making it the kingmaker of the Indian stock markets. In the spotlight recently, due to its investments in Adani Group companies, LIC has more than made up for the losses in the Jan to March quarter. There are at least 10 companies which have given a return of more than 20% in the first 5 months of this year. Topping the list is RVNL with a spectacular 87% return. Kirloskar Electric, Aurobindo Pharma and Glenmark Pharma make up the top 4 stocks. These are followed by Siemens, Tata Motors, ITC and Responsible Industries. For LIC, the gain in ITC is especially gratifying given it holds more than 15% in the conglomerate. A report by Prime Infobase lists out the biggest holdings of LIC as on 31st March of this year. Topping the list is Reliance Industries, in which the state-owned life insurer owned stake worth more than 1 lakh crore rupees. ITC was second, followed by Tata Group flagship TCS. Infosys and State Bank of India completed the top 5 list. What's also important to note is that while LIC holds more than 10 lakh crore rupees of equity, the holdings have dropped nearly 8% from the October to December quarter, primarily due to the dip in Adani stocks. The maximum loss in the 3 months ending 31st of March was due to Adani Total Gas of more than 18,000 crore rupees. Adani Enterprises was second on the list, followed by Reliance Industries. SBI also contributed to fall in LIC's holdings. Adani Transmission stock price fall led to a dip of nearly 6,500 crore rupees for LIC. On the other hand, the bets which paid off for LIC in absolute terms had ITC topping the list. LIC also booked a national profit of Tech Mahindra, Dr. Reddy's Lab, GAIL and ONGC. On an overall basis, LIC holding went up in 63 companies listed on NSE in the past quarter and down in 82 companies. The biggest gains were on FMCG and the IT sector, while LIC saw its value being eroded by the financial services, commodities and the energy sectors. Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
The Sensex failing to maintain that 62,000 mark today. The benchmark index opened nearly 200 points up from yesterday's close before crossing the 62,000 level in trade. Selling in PSU banks, FMCG and realty shares dragging the indices into red in the last 15 minutes of trade. Sensex ended 3 points down while the Nifty was up 2 points in a tough tug of war between the bulls and bears. Top gainers today: Divi's Lab, IndusInd Bank, Coal India, TCS, Axis Bank. Top laggards included UPL, ITC, SBI, Bajaj Finance and JSW Steel. Mankind Pharma made a stellar debut on D Street with its stock listing at a premium of 20%. Shares of the pharma company listed at 1,300 rupees on the NSE, a premium of 20.3% to the issue price of 1,080 rupees. The stock maintained a strong demand all day, reaching a high of 1,430 rupees on the NSE before settling at 1,422 rupees. Several analysts have recommended subscribing to the issue due to the company's presence across India. Here's what else is making news in the corporate world. Let's take a look. Apple supplier and Taiwanese tech giant Foxconn has bought a huge land parcel of 300 acres worth 300 crores on the outskirts of Bengaluru. The plot will house the company's biggest mobile manufacturing plant in the country. Foxconn is planning to invest as much as 8,000 crore rupees in the project. The purchase was announced in a statement to the London Stock Exchange as Foxconn looks to diversify its production away from China. Zomato shares tanked more than 6% after global investor Invesco slashed the valuation of its rival Swiggy by 33%. The change in Swiggy's valuation triggered a run on the Zomato stock. Investors are concerned that Invesco's valuation methodology applies on Zomato as well. But analysts believe that Zomato is still a good buy at dips for small to medium-term gains. Air India has given its pilots another week to sign new contracts with the revised pay structure. The initial deadline to sign the contract was 30th of April, which has now been extended to the coming weekend. Two of the airline's pilot unions, the ICPA and IPG, are opposed to the new salary structures, which have a lower number of assured flying hours per month. Air India has refused to recognize the unions. Social media platform LinkedIn has announced 716 layoffs and the closure of its China-based job app called In Careers. The layoffs will cut its existing workforce of 20,000 by 3.5%. LinkedIn is the latest entry in a list of tech companies announcing layoffs in the recent months due to decreasing demand. Let's take a very quick break. When we return, an exclusive chat with top economist Dr. Arvind Panagriya.
Van Gogh was a post-impressionist painter who is widely regarded as one of the greatest artists of all time. His unique style and use of bold colors have left an indelible mark in the art world. The 360-degree exhibit that made its mark in Mumbai just launched in New Delhi. As immersive art gains ground in India, this 360-degree exhibit is all of that and so much more. The exhibit is an exciting expedition into the world of Van Gogh, presenting the artist with an amalgamation of art x technology x artificial intelligence.
The hypnotic adventure is a clash between art and technology, wherein the ultra-modern projection worked out by the audiovisual designer is an ode to art. It is a mesmerizing artistic affair.
Van Gogh's art was deeply influenced by his own personal experiences, such as his struggles with mental illness and his love of nature. He, in fact, has created over 2,000 artworks, including some of the most recognizable paintings in the world, like the Starry Nights and Sunflowers. The 360-degree panorama on a larger-than-life screen, a complementing musical bed, and a mixture of different fields of art is currently on display in the national capital. Van Gogh's art continues to inspire artists and art lovers alike, even over a century after his death. This exhibition aims to showcase the incredible legacy of a true master using artificial intelligence in a multimedia format. With Riya Modi, Lifestyle Bureau, India Today.
The Vidhana Saudha.
We want a good governor.
The only exit poll India trusts.
If you're seeing India Today, then very often before counting day, you do get to see the exact poll.
Sharp rise of the BJP.
All three trends spot on this time.
Channel with #1 exit poll strike rate. India Today's double engine. Live. State of war. Exact poll. 10th May, 6 p.m. onwards. Only on India Today TV.
Co-presented by Star Health Insurance, the health insurance specialist. Powered by Jaguar, discover the magic of smart lights. Co-powered by Tech Pro by Blackberries. Show the way.
Welcome back. With recent economic disruptions, including the commodity shock largely behind us, India's economy is currently on a strong wicket and can soon achieve 9% GDP growth. That's the word from noted economist and former Vice Chairman of the Niti Aayog, Dr. Arvind Pankriya. Here's more from an exclusive conversation with BTTV Managing Editor Siddharth Sarabi.
The balance sheet issues that we had at one point, Dr. Pankriya, and that had an impact across lenders and borrowers, are broadly behind us. There may be some company-specific stress, but that's a micro matter really. And like you said, the monetary and fiscal stimulus, at least by analysis post-COVID, have been responsible. How would you describe India's state of the economy at this point of time?
Yes. No, I remain upbeat. I have been upbeat and I remain upbeat precisely because, I'll say, macro, we have handled incredibly well. All congratulations to both the finance and the Reserve Bank. Through COVID, etc., all kinds of pressures came to print more money and all. We avoided that, and we are reaping the fruits of what we did well. We have to stay course on that front. There is no question. My worry, and overall, I think, GDP growth this year we are ending with 7%, maybe 7.1%. And I think we'll continue roughly on that path in the years to come. My sort of worry in India actually remains on micro side. I think, macro, we have always, even when you go back to the license permit Raj era and all, broadly except for small episodes or, short episodes of irresponsible behavior, which, had led to the 1991 crisis also, balance payments crisis. We always ran macro very conservatively, very responsibly. Where we have done very badly is the micro. Now we started improving this micro side of it, and we've been doing that. But I think we need to do a bit more.
Dr. Pankriya, what is your own assessment of this government, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's investment as far as the reform part is concerned? And I'm glad you made the mention of micro reforms, because some of the big ticket items have been done. It's now the really careful, painstaking work that has to be done on multiple fronts. Has this government been able to invest the same kind of political capital that it has done on other issues on some of these reform areas? You mentioned labor, for example, and you also said quite correctly that we'll now have to wait for a year plus for any major action.
So, as far as the record up to this point is concerned, absolutely. Modi government has done as well or better than any other government in the past. I mean, I used to say Vajpayee government and Narasimha Rao government did the big sort of reforms, but Modi government has done very well as well. And mind you that some of the reforms that Modi government did were the most difficult reforms. I mean, we always backload the tough reforms. So whether it's bankruptcy code, I'd been writing for more than 15 years, that got done, GST got done. One of the things that I had certainly not foreseen myself, which is the digital infrastructure. It is a marvel to watch, which of course, has really revolutionized all the social programs. Delivery of social programs became so effective. Beneficiaries actually are receiving pretty much, close to 100% of their entitlements. So that then also passing labor laws from the parliament, at least, remains to be implemented. But the more difficult part has been accomplished actually, because now no legislation has to be done. It's simply that rules and regulations have to be written by all the states, and there are a couple of lagging states which are holding up the implementation. In this case, there's some peculiarities. Because of certain peculiarities, you cannot implement these codes, in at 90% of the states. You have to do it for the 100%, because when you implement these 4 codes, all the old 30 laws get repealed automatically, and therefore you cannot do it in 90% of the states and not in the remaining 10. So that is what has been holding it up. But that was a very big, major reform. So, absolutely done very well, but we are not done. We still have to keep at it when in 2024 the government comes back. I'm certainly upbeat that on the record alone, the Prime Minister will come back in 2024. And very much hope that we resume the reforms. I mean, my favorite area also is still remaining higher education. I think we have not even done on certain things like autonomy to the colleges. We have seemed to have actually gone back, because recently the Education Ministry revised the rules and regulations for the autonomous colleges and autonomy to them, and they actually take away some of the more liberal provisions that had been put in place earlier. So quite a bit to be done still, but quite a lot has been accomplished in the last 10 years.
Since you mentioned about what needs to be done, and that's still on the pending list, at the current rate, Dr. Panagaria, and I'm referring to your earlier mention of our potential growth, by when do you expect we would grow closer to the 8-9%, nearer to 9% kind of trajectory?
Look, if we implement first the labor laws, we do something on land. That needs to be done. Land is incredibly expensive in India. And that is the result of policies. Not, it's a longer discussion, but we need to do something on land. We do that, and then some bit of privatization that has been on the agenda. I think that would suffice. If we can simply, some bit also on taxes, which is not so much the central problem, but somehow the local problem. From the smaller entrepreneurs, I hear this a lot. The larger entrepreneurs manage to kind of deal with the tax system, but the smaller ones, complain quite a bit, actually, that tax harassment goes on, and that drives the smaller businesses out. You may have seen there was a story done by The Economist magazine, how, a lot of the businesses have moved to Dubai and all. That sort of thing should not be happening. Even occasionally I meet here in New York City, some people who have been running businesses in India, and they said, we just have had it with the tax harassment, and so we are just thinking of moving to the United States or elsewhere. So I think that needs to be paid attention to. But I think we are at the cusp. We are almost there. Internationally, by the way, now finally there does seem to be some bit of breakthrough that that the multinationals which had been invested in China and were looking for alternative locations now seem to be coming to India. I think finally it looks to me that we do have a breakthrough there.
At US regional banks, and there have been worries with a European bank as well, and the fears of a financial contagion. How real is that a risk, Dr. Panagaria? Is there a 2008 sort of moment waiting to happen, or are these fears overblown?
No, I don't think we are going to see a repeat of 2008. That was a very severe shock. Luckily, in this case, this originated in the regional banks, and at least it began in a single bank, which really could alert the Fed Reserve and the Treasury in the United States to the potential problems. So some of the preventive measures have already been put in place. Some are under discussion. We might still see episodes here and there. But ultimately, remember the big difference from 2008 is that it is the large banks that got into trouble. Lehman was very, very large. And then there were other large financial entities as well, some of the insurance companies and all, which got into trouble. That is not the case here. The pressure here is a lot more on the smaller and regional banks, but the big four, biggest four banks, they are quite sound, and they are not subject to this kind of problem that the smaller banks are. So for the United States internally, I think a bit of challenge, no doubt, but I don't see that it's going to spill over out of the United States. Now, similar stuff is going on in Europe as well, because the rising interest rates are impacting the balance sheets of banks around the world. And we are less impacted in this sense, but Europe and the United States particularly are. So we'll see, but these will be localized. I don't see, this is falling, this is spilling over to the global economy.
What is your sense? Is the inflation issue being handled to some extent in the US due to this monetary tightening? And is there some more runway left for the US Fed to keep tightening?
Yeah, see, on the monetary side, I think the Fed Reserve has moved in now. It was a little bit behind the curve, but it has now moved in, and the interest rates have gone to about 5.25% from nearly 0%. So it's a very large increase, and I don't think Fed has any intention of coming to a full stop yet. I don't think it will. It is running at 5%, but the challenge for the Fed now, in the wake of this Silicon Valley Bank going belly up, has been that ultimately what it does to interest rates also does something to the financial stability of the financial system. And that, I think, has become the issue of the trade-offs. But I agree with you that in the US, it's not so, not 3 to 4 times. I mean, it's about running currently at 5%, which is 2.5 times the target of 2%. So it looks better, but still not comfortable enough. Where I think the action is required, and I see no awareness or no willingness actually to see it that way, is the fiscal side of the United States. The spending by the Treasury is just out of hands. And this is where I had said, that the debt to GDP ratio is now becomes a very big challenge, because now, when the interest rates rise up to 5.25%, servicing the debt becomes extremely costly.
That's where we leave it on the show tonight. Thanks so much for watching. What's the latest with the Go First matter pending with the NCLT?
Well, right, the management of Go First has reached out to NCLT again, and this is despite the fact that NCLT has reserved its order. The management of Go First wants NCLT to pass its plea of moratorium that it has issued in order to continue with its operation of domestic aircrafts across the country. As we know, it was last week that Go First had submitted this plea where it did mention that more than 50% of its aircrafts are grounded, with only 26 of them functional. In fact, the lessors have also intervened, asking to take back 20 of these aircrafts, which could disrupt operations of Go First in the coming days in case it plans to resume.
Also, what do the issue of credit notes mean for Go First passengers, Karishma?
Well, in terms of refund, the latest update that's been coming is that Go First has submitted a response to the DGCA also that they will be processing the refunds. They've been started to issue credit notes to its passengers. In terms of data and amounts that coming, it's more than 70,000 passengers who've been impacted, and an amount of 350 crores that has to be refunded for the flights that were cancelled up to May 9th. Of course, after May 9th, the latest update has been that the suspension has been taken forward until May 12th, and in case NCLT does not accept its plea, the lessors may take back the aircrafts, which could further derail plans of Go First to resume its operations in the country.
The Vidhana Saudha.
We want a good governor.
The only exit poll India trusts.
If you are seeing India today, then very often before counting day, you do get to see the exact poll.
Sharp rise of the BJP.
All three trends spot on this time.
Channel with #1 exit poll strike rate. India Today's double engine. Live. State of war. Exact poll. 10th May, 6 p.m. onwards. Only on India Today TV.
Co-presented by Star Health Insurance, the health insurance specialist. Powered by Jaguar, discover the magic of smart lights. Co-powered by Tech Pro by Blackberries. Show the way.
You are watching India Today.
Hello, you're watching India Today and I'm Aishwarya Paliwal. Let's start the show with the headlines. Former Prime Minister Imran Khan's arrest sparks protest and chaos. His supporters stormed the army headquarters in Rawalpindi. PTI claims Khan has been abducted. Hours before elections, Karnataka Chief Minister chants Hanuman Chalisa. DK Shiv Kumar seeks Bajrang Bali's blessings. India Today's exit poll will tell you who will rule the Vidhan Saudha. 6 p.m. onwards tomorrow. Team Kerala story moves the Supreme Court against Bengal government's decision to ban the film. This as the Yogi government declares the film as tax-free in the state. Sachin Pilot declares war against Ashok Gehlot, says the Rajasthan Chief Minister is hand in glove with the Bharatiya Janata Party. Another cheetah dies at Kunu National Park after a deadly fight with 2 other cheetahs. This is the 3rd death in the last 3 months. Now, former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan is under arrest. Videos are emerging out of Islamabad that are showing Imran being dragged, pushed and then shoved into a police van. Already on the brink of collapse, Pakistan has now descended into utter chaos. Imran Khan's supporters have stormed the Pakistan Army headquarters in Rawalpindi and also in Lahore, Kant area. Watch this report.
After months of suspense, the Pakistan establishment finally bites the bullet. Imran Khan Niazi arrested in an operation that has left the nation stunned. The former Pakistan Prime Minister was in the biometric room of the Islamabad High Court on Tuesday when a heavily armed contingent from the Pakistan Rangers barged in. The forces broke through a window to enter the room where Imran was served an arrest warrant. Surrounded by troops carrying metal shields, the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf party chief was then herded into a vehicle and whisked away. Imran's party and lawyers claimed they and their leader were tortured by security forces.
Khan साहब वहाँ खड़े थे पहले बार से धक्का देके मारा तो मैं एग्जैक्टली इस जगह खड़ा था यहाँ पे यहाँ से खड़ा था वो सामने वहाँ से आके उन्होंने शीशा तोड़ा है और वो आप नीचे देख लीजिए क्या सूरत हाल है ये दरवाज़ा है और मेरी आंखों पे मारा आँख इतना ज़ोर का स्प्रे हम 3 वकला थे और इतना शदीद किस्म का हमला था बोला नहीं जा रहा है और इस वक्त अभी भी अंदर ये जो है वो एक शदीद शैलेंग के असरात मौजूद हैं।
ये इस वक्त खान साहब के ऊपर बहुत ज़्यादा तशद्दुद कर रहे हैं, खान साहब को मार रहे हैं और आई डोंट नो कि इन्होंने खान साहब के साथ क्या कर दिया है। खान साहब के साथ इन्होंने कुछ कर दिया है।
इमरान खान का मुकदमा लड़ने जा रही हूँ, मैं पाकिस्तान का मुकदमा लड़ने जा रही हूँ। ये बात याद रखिएगा, ये अकेले इमरान खान की जंग नहीं है। आज इमरान खान आपकी जंग लड़ते लड़ते उसके ऊपर कोई चोरी का मुकदमा नहीं है, उसने कोई जुर्म नहीं किया। मार देंगे उसको, मैं आपको बता रही हूँ कि अंदर वो मार देंगे अगर आप लोग अभी अपने लिए खड़े न हुए, आप पाकिस्तान के लिए खड़े न हुए।
Imran has been arrested in the Al-Qadir Trust corruption case. The former Prime Minister, his wife Bushra Bibi and other leaders of the PTI are accused in the case linked to the establishment of the Al-Qadir University. Imran's government and a property tycoon had agreed to a settlement in a case that led to an alleged loss of 50 billion Pakistani rupees to the treasury. Imran's arrest comes hours after he claimed the Shehbaz Sharif government and its alleged handlers were trying to arrest him to prevent him from campaigning for elections.
मैं साबित करूंगा कि आईएसआई ने सारी एक रात पहले उसको टेक ओवर किया। साबित करूंगा कि सीटीटी के कपड़ों के अंदर और वुकला के कपड़ों के अंदर आईएसआई थी वहां। इसी आदमी का नाम और इन जो टोला था उनका नाम अरशद शरीफ की वालदा ने अरशद शरीफ के कत्ल पे लिखा। कोई इन्वेस्टिगेशन नहीं हुई, कोई किसी की जुर्रत नहीं थी कि आगे बढ़े क्योंकि ये मुकद्दस गाय हैं, कानून से ऊपर हैं।
The Sharif government has defended Imran's arrest. The arrest has sparked protests in many parts of Pakistan. PTI cadres gathered outside Imran's Zaman Park residence in Lahore, hitting the roads after his arrest. Section 144 that bars unauthorized assembly of people has been imposed in the country's capital, Islamabad. Imran's party has also called for a nationwide shutdown.
मैं पूरी कौम से, सब कारकुनों से और सब अवाम से, सिर्फ कारकुन नहीं अवाम से ये डिमांड करता हूं कि आज बाहर निकलें। अगर आज हम बाहर ना निकले ये मुल्क हमेशा के लिए इन चोरों डाकुओं के हवाले कर दिया जाएगा।
Imran Khan's arrest follows several unsuccessful attempts, including a police raid on his house in Lahore, which he had managed to evade successfully.
You can see behind me, people are being blocked. They are chanting anti-government slogans. They are chanting pro-Imran Khan slogans. And they say that Imran Khan is their red line.